What's going on, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and today I'm going to get into Sphere 3D, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail. I'm also going to touch on Bitcoin and what it's doing, and then I'm also going to get into Cleanspark. We did hold that support, and we actually did bounce after hours a nice little bit, but we do have Bitcoin dropping a little bit. But we're going to check out the charts here, and let's get into it. So first off, looking at Any, we are oversold here. I think it can continue that way. It'll probably continue right here at this support level. It is a pretty strong support level. We do bounce off it quite often. But one thing to keep note of here is that Bitcoin did dump. After the after hours closed, Bitcoin started dropping a little bit more, reached about 58,000, and then started coming up. It's working on trying to touch 60. If coming into the market, Bitcoin is dropping, I can guarantee that this is definitely likely to try that support again and probably break it downwards. But if Bitcoin can actually work its way and keep that 60 and try to stay, I bet you this won't be a dead cat bounce and it will in fact keep working its way higher. But it is nice to see that it started consolidating right here at that support level. Just keep in mind, it is oversold on the 6-month, the 3-month, and the 1-month. And if you are patient, they are most likely going to have that merger. You just got to be patient and wait for that the first quarter of next year. People were starting to get uncertain. It definitely did hurt this stock in the short term, but we will see if it will either dead cat bounce and fall farther, or if it will just work its way up if Bitcoin can stay at that 60,000. But this is definitely going to completely depend on what Bitcoin's doing. We just passed earnings. There's really no other catalyst for this one in the foreseeable future here, unless there's any news of more details with the upcoming merger. But likely we're not going to hear anything all November, December. This is probably going to chop around, I'm guessing, in between these levels and maybe down to about 5. Worst case scenario, if Bitcoin does stay around 58, maybe even go down to 57, 55 possibly, I could definitely see this coming down towards 5, but I'm kind of doubtful on that one. I think it'll likely just kind of trade sideways, maybe work its way up slowly as we get into December. But that's it for Any. It's also a good idea to look at Bitcoin here. You will see that throughout the day, we were for a very short period oversold on Bitcoin here on the 1-month, the 3-month, and the 6-month, but it is kind of working its way back up and trying to just continue sideways. But you will see that it's holding it really strong right here at about 58.5. Right when it hits about 58.5 or so, it definitely bounces up quick. But this is, this has been kind of a falling knife. I wouldn't mind purchasing right around here, especially if you're just a fan of buying once a week. Once a month may be in a good opportunity. I do like to kind of dollar cost average with Bitcoin, but at the same time, I do take advantage of deals and I do kind of avoid buying the tops. But to me, where it's at, I don't have a problem buying it. A lot of people are worried. A lot of people are saying, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 40. I highly doubt it. I think it's going to hold relatively strong where it's at. Once we broke that 60,000 support, it did start using it as a resistance and was really having a hard time breaking it. I think it could potentially trade sideways a little bit longer before we get on our next little run. But keep in mind, we are really working towards 60. Last I was looking at this was about 58 something. So it doesn't like to be down for very long. You do see it after it hits this bottom here, it does bounce almost every time lately. Keep note that just the end of October, we were at about 58 even. So if this goes down to 58 and bounces, that could be a confirmation of a return to the upside. But if it hits that 58 and drops, we really don't have another support level probably until about 55, I'd say. Around 55 or so where this kind of got choppy. You could set it and forget it if you're super long term on this, but if you're looking for entry points and exit points, if you're trying to play this with the Bitcoin miners, if say you see Bitcoin dropping considerably going into the market open, you could place some puts on a few things. That's one way you could play this. But if it starts getting on a rise, I bet a stock like Cleanspark could do fantastic, especially since it's actually been quite beaten down today. And let's check it out. First off, you'll see that this dropped about 11% today. And it also, it did come back just slightly after hours, signifying that we might have reached a base. And guys, I did talk about this one a couple days back, saying that I will buy if it goes under 20. And sure enough, I did buy a few, and I'm happily buying here under 20. I mean, preferably right here where it's at. I don't mind buying where it's at. It does depend on what Bitcoin's going to do, though. If Bitcoin continues to just trade sideways or go in a downward trend, this could, work its way back to the 17s. Anything's possible, but do take note that we are definitely oversold. Looking at the 6-month, the 3-month, the 1-month, the 5-day. So I see it as a decent entry point, but it can keep going down if Bitcoin keeps trending downwards. But from a technical standpoint, to me, this is a clear buy. Now, I am a little overextended in this stock specifically in my portfolio, but I don't mind picking up a few here or there. This could be the last time we see it in the teens. And that's just my, that's just my opinion. You guys could always have your own. You could think that this is going to keep going down, but it does really depend on what Bitcoin's going to do here. I don't have a crystal ball, but I definitely like this one for the long term, and I don't mind scooping it up where it's at. But that's basically all I got for you guys. Just a quick update on Cleanspark, 3D Sphere, Any, and Bitcoin. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next one.